got people in London looking for it.
Hey, Bishop. Jacob and Evie Fry are twins.
She starts by talking directly to the player. Then we see her from a different angle. Are there 2 cameras set up in her laboratory?
Isabel Ardant has a meeting here in a few hours. Doesn't say with who.
Doesn't say with whom.
Was about to correct her grammar. Then I realised that I'm the Dick Brit. Now I'm sad. No sin here. Move along.
Target 2 is Sir David Brewster, who's got his hands on a bauble that could ruin us in this wretched war.
This bloke has the worst fake British accent I've ever heard. Bauble is the completely wrong word.
How long does he intend to go on like this?
Writers decide to comment on child labour in British factories, even though child labour hasn't been an issue in British factories for over 100 years.
Send me some laudanum for my head.
Laudanum for a headache? That's like smoking weed for an upset stomach. Jacob is a discount young Steve Coogan. Jacob watches as a conductor jumps off the train without getting hurt, but he does not follow suit, instead deciding to run against the train. Why? Because the writers decided it was time for some artificial tension.
No loose ends. Now, to decouple the locomotive and create a diversion.
She says to herself out loud. Evie is a discount Lady Igraine from The Order, 1886. He's also a discount Steve Coogan, with old man makeup and a fat suit. That is the deafest guard ever. Discount young Huge Jackman. Also, he never factors back into the main story. If this was a true Victorian piece of fiction, then he would have had some part to play later on. Oh, come on. For those of you who thought Batman's disappearances are ridiculous, feast your eyes. Taking off a sin for badassery. Adding on a sin because nobody comes running, even though she's so bloody loud.
You know as well as I do that London has been the domain of the Templars for the last 100 years. They are far too strong yet. Patience.
This Canadian asshole seems to think that all the Templars in London will suddenly drop dead. Discount Ezio's theme. Ubisoft. I see we're still not showing the logo until a lengthy amount of gameplay has transpired.
Thank you for making my job easy.
Instead of making his job easier by shooting immediately, the generic Templar thug takes his time, allowing the assassins to escape.
I was sorry to learn about your father's passing.
Thank you.
He wasn't offering condolences, he was just stating a fact, Evie. Those had to put in Dickens, didn't they?
Kaylock's gang is nearby. They must not follow me back to my shop.
A large gang that has great influence over all of London can't find this bloke's shop. It wasn't difficult in Victorian London to track someone down. What's my proof? In Nicholas Nickleby, Ralph Nickleby tracks down an old woman in a remote part of London with next to no difficulty.
I will meet you at the curio shop.
Green just shouted out that he would meet them at his curio shop. If he was difficult to find before, he certainly isn't now.
We need to lead them away from Green.
The thugs follow the coach instead of following Green.
Oh, what's this, Greenie? Assassin Christmas.
For some reason, Jacob feels the need to prepend assassin to Christmas, as if to imply that assassins celebrate Christmas at a different time of year.
Welcome to the Rooks.
Should be called the leprechauns. Because they're all green.
Then may I present to you Agnes and Bertha.
We need to know your name, lady, not the names of your huge, tracts of land.
Phonetic telegraph. Sounds a bit of a mouthful. You could just call it a telephone.
The character unremembered by history is responsible for something very prevalent today, cliché. Biggest waste of red string ever.
What's all this then?
Oh, shut up!
If this bloke's hoping to ward off naysayers, pulling a knife is about the worst thing he can possibly do. Makes us wonder why there was even a lock on that door if it was so easy to break. I take back every other convenient haystack is convenient I've ever said, because they don't hold a candle to the conveniency of this haystack. We interrupt Assassin's Creed Syndicate to bring you Grand Theft Auto, Victorian London. One of the biggest problems with this game is that there are far too few thug designs, and the ones they have are pretty distinct. I feel like I've seen this bloke about 200 times already, but he's been a different one each time. This is such an important box that they're going to leave it hardly guarded in an open cart outside.
Well, that was fun. Thanks for the invitation.
But she didn't extend an invitation, Jacob. You asked if you could come along.
Sounds like fun. Mind if I join you?
Even if you're not with Green when you entered the room, he suddenly appears. If Lady Lucy wasn't alerted to the sound of the piano, she must have been alerted by the sound of the floor sliding open.
You say you heard music?
Now you're gonna say that we should take away a sin, but we're going to add another sin because they took so long to get there.
This tea was brought to me from India. By a ship.
No self-respecting Brit would place his spoon on the table when there's a perfectly good saucer to accommodate it. Fly for shame, Steric.
Sorry to interrupt, Initiate. Thought you'd like to know that Sean and Rebecca got away from Otzoberg.
Nope, we were really enjoying the actual game, thank you very much.
Good day, Miss Fry.
If Evie learnt of the key through Edward's writings, and she took the writings from the secret room, then there's no way the Templar scum could have known to come here. It's lucky for this bloke that there's invisible walls on this train, otherwise he'd be thrown off for certain.
These supplies are meant for Miss Nightingale.
I'm here to collect them.
And they're already loaded on the cart. Please take them.
Bloke in charge of supplies gives the supplies to Evie without requiring any form of proof that she indeed means to deliver them to Miss Nightingale.
But is that a permanent solution?
I will petition to have regulations put in place.
You mean like the regulations on child labour that are apparently not being followed? Okay. The guards do not react to sudden lightning and billows of green smoke.
I suggest you vacate your workshop.
No need. Not now you've given me sacks full of college.
Makes it sound like they gave him testicles.
I knew this day would come.
While every other person we've assassinated thus far has stood when they're talking, this bloke remains lying down.
I was certain he knew that I belonged to the Order and was there to end me.
Luckily, Jacob arrives right at the pertinent part of the conversation. It appears too that they have both travelled to this derelict building for the sole purpose of talking.
When coldness or deceit shall slide.
We interrupt Assassin's Creed Syndicate to bring you Les Miserables.
Steric.
Slowest bullet ever, walking through people in cutscene.
You're not with the Royal Guard. How many of you are there? Tell me.
Demands testimony whilst making it physically impossible for him to give testimony.
Well, what say you? You're not gonna like it.
Now, see here. I am graced with the Aberline family's robust constitution.
2 pennies robbing the Bank of England.
The governor of the bank. I think I might need to sit down.
Joke was as predictable as it was lame, i.e. very. None of the guards find it odd that a shady-looking man in a hood is escorting a guard around apparently by force.
Oh, and if it's not too much trouble, would you mind destroying any counterfeit notes you come across so they don't circulate?
How will she be able to recognize the counterfeit notes? Later he says that it's nearly impossible to tell the real notes from the fake ones.
With those printing plates, it's nearly impossible to tell the real notes from the fake ones.
Is it just me or is this a really odd place for a riot, and a very small riot at that?
Since we've got the printing plates, it's all real cash.
The counterfeiters loudly talk about their counterfeiting near the bank. Morons.
There. As if they were never taken.
That's why they keep the plates? They deserve to have them taken.
Then why are you following the Prime Minister?
It's just the job, sir. Some old bloke paid me to...
The hired assassin's employer has an assassin ready to take out the hired assassin if he happens to squawk cliche.
Please, you'll kill me.
And a 3-story drop will shatter your legs and send you to the workhouse.
A drop from that height onto hard pavement, she'd be dead. I know this is an open world game, but couldn't we strive for at least an iota of continuity between gameplay and cutscene?
Come back here to Downing Street tomorrow night, 8 o'clock sharp.
In spite of there being an attempt on the PM's life, Jacob takes him to Downing Street, the second most likely place for him to be, the first being his house.
Please tell me again where we are going.
I ask not because I've forgotten, but because the folks at home weren't privy to our conversation when you first told me.
Claim your trophy, and may you choke on it.
Either Cardigan has an edible trophy in mind, or he habitually puts large gold, silver, copper and bronze trophies in his mouth.
It has been too long.
Galena! Blimey, I have not seen you since we blew up that lab in Paris.
There were many explosions and you screamed like a baby.
They allude to a modern-day story that sounds much more interesting than the modern-day story we're currently in.
Sean and Rebecca are safe for now, but we're still relying on you to find us that shroud.
So let's say we do find the shroud. What's to say that it will still be in the same place? Over 100 years have passed since 1868. Who's to say that it wasn't moved since then? Or maybe destroyed?
Enclosed, please find your invitation.
Jacob feels righteous indignation on account of a bird he earlier didn't give 2 fucks about.
Why did you do it? What? Keep the world in its divine, manic state. For the same reason, I'd do anything. Why not?
Roth momentarily switches franchises and becomes the Joker.
Once more for old time's sake.
and then we're finished.
Sudden animosity is sudden.
It's time you returned this carriage and recovered those plans. They are located in Buckingham Palace.
Why is everything important in London located in Buckingham f***ing Palace? If Evie meant to dress like a lady, she has widely missed the mark. By Victorian standards, she's dressed like a whore. If not because the dress is low cut, then certainly because of its colour. Walks through a horse in cutscene. Stuff like this should be cleared away when we switch from gameplay to cutscene.
Time is a wonderful thing, Miss Fry. It heals all wounds.
Evie, an assassin, knows perfectly well how to dance.
Here, the location of the vaults, go!
Guess it doesn't matter if the paper gets wet. This looks eerily similar to the location of the final boss fight in Unity. Also, hate to break it to you, but that's no shroud.
Requiescat and Pace.
Love the Ezio reference. Should I take off a sin? I think I shall, for sheer bloody subtle nostalgia. After everything they go through to find the shroud, they leave it where it is. They don't destroy it or try to find another hiding place. This ending may have been cheesy, but at least it was satisfying.
That's it.
Oh.
Good work in there, Initiate. In time, we will recover the shroud.
So, in summary, all that work we did in the game was for nothing. Fan-f***ing-tastic. God love you, Soft.
When coldness or deceit shall slide.
Thank you for watching today's video. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, like, comment. Follow us on Twitter so that way we can let you know when we're coming out with a new video. Like us on Facebook and Google+. Also, if you haven't already, check out my book. It's called Great New World. It is a great book. No, I may be biased, but you can get it on Amazon. There's a link in the annotation card and in the comments. Have a great day.
Americano, eh? Just like me. Gene Parmesan, how you doing?
Baylock has demanded you settle the claim for territory in a gang fight.
Gang fight, the gang is down to fight.
Turistramonium, or Devil's Snare as it is commonly called.
Devil's Snare. It's deadly fun.
This is confusing. Is it sexist to hit you? Is it more sexist to not hit you? I mean, the line gets real blurry.
But the shroud can only be worn by one.
There is only one Lord of the Ring, and he does not share power.
He does not follow suit, instead deciding to run against the train. Oh, you fucking dickhead cats. You fucking dickhead cats. I'm trying to record my audio here for GamingSins, and you're fucking around with you're biting each other's necks like two fucking dicks. It appears too that they both travel to this derelict building for the sole purpose of talking. You dick cat? No! Ah! You fucking dick cat. F off. Go on. F off. I know this is an open world game, but could we at least strive for an iota of continuity? Get down, you shit. Get down. If Evie meant to dress like a lady, she has widely missed the mark. By Victorian standards, she's... You fucking cat, now you want out of the room? You bitch. If you want out, you're going out. That's it. No lying there innocently like some petitza. Yeah. Shitting cat.